podcast focused on trends shaping the future of manufacturing. I'm Alexandria Burek, your host, here with A.W. Schultz, two thought leaders with a passion for people and manufacturing. Today and every episode, we are diving deep into the advancements, sustainable practices, and dynamic changes transforming how we produce everything.
And now welcome Alexandria Burek and A.W. Schultz.
Hello everyone, welcome to Factory of the Future. And I have a bit of an announcement to make. Alexandria, do you know what this is?
No, what is it?
This is episode 25.
Yeah,
25 episodes that we have done.
we made it.
We are on the cusp. We are entering into our 2000th download. In a short amount of time, Factory of the Future has had over the amounts of, I know when we started this, we had some expectations. We have well outdid those.
Yes.
And it's just amazing. And what I thought we could do today was talk a little bit about some of our more popular episodes, and really just if you're a listener to it and you haven't had a chance to listen to some episodes, take a step back and listen to some of these episodes that we've done in the past that have really got a lot of traction and conversations that we've delivered on it.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to start, usually you do a countdown, but I'm going to start with our biggest episode, and I'll move to our top three. Okay?
Sounds good. Let's go.
Our number one episode, and there's just a drum roll. I don't know if Alexander knows this.
I can't do it.
Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay.
Yeah.
It was episode 8. It was the well-being factor, unlocking peak workplace performance. And this was an episode, and this really goes through a lot. What we talk about in Factory of the Future is about the importance of motivation and engagement within the factory. And if I remember in this episode, you had a lot to bring forward on some personal levels.
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
I don't necessarily remember exactly what I talked about, but I know I tend to be a passionate person and I have an overflow of ideas. There's no shortage of ideas. Actually, that might be my greatest strength, and also one of my biggest challenges in life is just the sheer magnitude of ideas that come. But I will share that there's been some recent exciting updates and developments with regards to employee engagement where I work, and not just with me and my personal role, but also with the organization as a whole and with our team and department. So I'm a big fan of making sure that all levels of the organization are connected through communication and updates. I think the people on the factory floor should be included in conversations, or at least provided regular updates as to what the leadership teams are talking about and what they're focused on. And I think a common misconception for leaders is that those people, because they're in that type of a role, wouldn't care or wouldn't want to be bothered, or maybe even perhaps wouldn't understand. I take a totally different approach, and I think that that's just not how I would want to be treated if I were in the boots on the ground position. And even in a mid-senior level position, I often voice that I would love to just hear more about what's going on in the rooms with the conversations of the people above me, because I think that helps me calibrate where I need to be headed. So I'm pleased to announce that our leadership teams, like C-suite of leaders, is presenting quarterly town halls now. They're going to be giving us updates on how we're doing as an organization, what we need to be focused on, what's working really well, and what we stand to improve on, or some things that we need to be a little bit concerned about. So I'm really glad to hear that, and I think that is going to really give our company a boost. And then even more intimate and more close to home is a recommendation that I've been making for maybe about 1.5 years, 2 years to my direct team. I said, you guys, we need to engage the drivers more, because I work in the private fleet team of our organization. So we're a manufacturing business, but we deliver most of our own goods or pick up most of our own goods. And we do that with a in-house staff of drivers and mechanics, etc. And so I was like, we need to engage our drivers more. We're sitting here, we're at corporate. Like, I used to interface with the drivers all the time in my previous roles, and now I'm just so arm's length distanced removed that they don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they need. I don't know, if what I'm communicating is landing. So I'm like, we should do something. We should do something. And finally, we're going to do something. So I'm really excited. I get to run point on a driver's newsletter and hosting our own mini town halls for our drivers to just give them a place, like to let them know that they're important and also just to hear what might be going on. So I'm really excited about that. I'm more engaged as a result of the communication from those above me. And I'm more engaged because of the idea of communicating to those who are working to make our team a success. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I can tell. And congratulations.
Thanks.
I would like you touched on something I would like to bring up
Sure.
and to talk about. And if those are out there listening, and if you've had a similar instance or you're experiencing a problem like this, put something into the chat on this. We would
Yeah.
love to bring it forward to one of our episodes, and we can talk about it and kind of unpack it a little bit. What are some different options? Or if you've had success into it, even better. Bring some of that forward, and we'd love to hear it about, and we can talk about it on the one of our shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our top two, number two, this was episode 9,
Nice.
Circular Future, Reimaging Global Supply Chain. And I didn't get a chance to talk about this much, but I've got a friend of mine. And I think what he and his company exhibit is exactly what they talk about circular
Yeah.
economics.
Yeah.
And what they do is they've got a couple services, but what's interesting in what they do is they pick up recyclable, well, essentially food from restaurants that goes
Compost.
unused, and they go into these large barrels. They pick them up on a frequency, and they charge the restaurants, and they'll do home deliveries too, where they'll pick it up. But what's great, not only for that, is that they make a little bit of income through that, but what they do is they'll go and they'll take that out to what would be their own personal landfill, and they compost it.
Yeah.
And then they repack it and they sell it as compost. And
Yeah.
I just think that's just a phenomenal idea. My friend's always telling me how there's so much food waste out there, and finding the right place for it and turn it into something that has value, to me, is a perfect example of circular economics.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to do more episodes in the future about circular economics, but I just wanted to share that one story because I think that our viewers saw that as something that they can resonate with and see value as it comes forward.
Yeah, what I like about his business model is, number one, there's the commercial and the residential component. And number two, it's so sustainably focused. It's a business model that is good for people. It's good for Earth. Like, those are huge wins in my book. So any kind of business model, like, maybe even, who knows, maybe he would love to share a little bit about the, finer details and what goes into that. Because I think we could, have a really cool episode on something, a little deeper dive on that, if that's, maybe potentially in the cards for us. But yeah, thanks for bringing that example up, and, kudos to him for doing that good work out in the world.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So our number three is episode 14. And this is the fun one. It is Quiet Quitting, the New Workplace Revolution.
Yeah.
And the idea here is a lot of organizations maybe managers don't recognize that some of their employees could be quiet quitting. And, they're looking around, they're spending their time in their office because they got to go to work every day, going through, looking at different jobs that are out there,
Yeah.
but still collecting the paychecks. And I know I've got a friend of mine who they were in the IT, and I think it was during COVID. So a lot of people were working from home, but
Yeah.
their quiet quitting was they already got another job,
Yeah.
and they were just collecting paychecks
Yeah.
from the other job.
Dual computers rocking and rolling. Let's go.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually just kind of jealous that I couldn't figure that out myself. I kind of wish I would have been able to be more wise and more sophisticated to do so. But my sister she's a ICU nurse, and she was just shocked. She's like, there's people they have two jobs. They just get another job. And then it's like they have two full-time jobs. And I don't know how they're doing it. And I'm just like, to be honest, the calendar management stresses me out. Like, I don't know what I would say. Like, if my boss at one job was like, "Hey, can you meet at Tuesday at 2 o'clock?" And then I was like, "No, I can't. I have a conflict." But then, like, what if he went and asked like everybody on our team, like, "Hey, are you meeting with Alexandria at 2 p.m. or 1 o'clock or whatever the time was I just listed?" And everyone was like, "No, we don't have a meeting with her." And then they'd be like, "Well, who is it?" Then I'd be like, a vendor." You know, like I just feel like I'm a terrible liar. So I'd love to know how people navigate that. That's just fascinating to me. Do you know anybody who's actually quiet quit? Like, we don't have to obviously give any incriminating details, but do you know anybody who's actually done it?
Well, it's depending on how you call it quiet quitting. But yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah.
And
What are the levels of quiet quitting that you would describe?
well, one is you don't do anything, but I don't think that this was before like the term came around. I just
Yeah.
thought they were lazy.
Yeah. 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 That we had to come up with a term for it, so it became quiet quitting. It's just the people who didn't want to work when they were supposed to be working. Fair. Got it.
I
Next.
forget the history on it. I think it started in the US.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
It was COVID time. It was
that's
COVID
a,
time.
that's the most United States thing that we would have ever come up with. Certainly not German or European. I'll tell you that.
Right. Yeah.
They're like, why would you quietly quit? Just regular quit.
Yeah. Let me think. So there's that episode, being the complete lazy. Um, Other degrees would be, your job searching, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
The side hustle would be another level. I
the
think it's
side hustle.
equivalent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're putting more time into your side hustle than your real work.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know.
And then I guess
Reach out on
the
give us
advanced.
a thing in the chat if you think of some
Yeah.
other options
Yeah.
we could be quiet
If
quitting.
Yeah, I feel like the advanced is the people who have the two jobs. Like they're the champions of quiet quitting.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are the champions on that.
That's championship team right there.
As a person, do you tell people about that afterwards, or is it kind of thing that just kind of goes on?
Like a casual brag.
Yeah,
Like,
casual
hey,
brag.
hey, I had two jobs. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I think my personality would be it would be very hard for me to keep it a secret from people close to me. But then at the same time, like I feel like you definitely wouldn't want to tell a lot of people that because you never know when or who might have a job opportunity that they'd like to like if you're just maybe arm's length away coworker or acquaintance knew that you quiet quit your last job, are they going to recommend you for a new job? Like that would be something I'd be concerned about.
Yeah, yeah.
I probably wouldn't brag about it. Yeah.
So that's our top three, episode
Yeah.
8, 9, and 14.
Yeah.
And I'm only expecting better results to come out of it. Um, and like I said, we are about to hit 2,000 episodes.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Or 2,000 listeners, downloads.
2,000 listeners. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
2,000
big
downloads.
change.
But yeah, we
25th
definitely
episode, but 2,000 downloads.
we're not breaking up anytime soon, and we probably will eventually be able to, look back and be like, guys, 2,000 episodes later, and here we are, Factor of the Future, still going strong. I'm excited for what how the show has morphed and how kind of our relationship and our synergy has just kind of gotten even better and cooler over time from episode 1 to now. So I want to call that out. Hopefully the listeners feel the same. And the other thing I'm really excited about is kind of what we're planning and what we've got in the pipeline. I'm not going to share too much about that now, but I think that some of our listeners might be interested in some of the behind the scenes work that we've been putting into the show and things kind of orbiting around the show. So I'm going to leave that cliffhanger. And then we can maybe start introducing it from episode 25, 26 on. But yeah, I'm excited for some of the stuff like the offshoots and the offspring of the show that are coming to life here.
Oh, me too. I
Yeah.
mean, it's all related to what our podcasts are about. And yeah, it's topics we're both passionate about, and we're
Yeah.
always looking into it. And we're trying to offer this as different packages that others can take advantage of.
Yeah,
But yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, to anybody out there who's become a regular listener, look out and look forward to some additional stuff that's going to be coming out in the future. AW and I are pouring a lot of ourselves and our energy and our experience into this. So, stay tuned.
Yeah. And with that, I think we are checking out of here like finished goods.
We're out of here. Clocking out.
Happy 25th.
Yep.
This is Factory of the Future, and we are out of here like finished goods. Stay tuned for our next episode of Factory of the Future, where we're exploring groundbreaking techniques and behaviors that are reshaping industrial landscapes. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review and help others discover the cutting-edge insights transforming manufacturing as we know it.